In the realm of spiritual understanding and faith, St. Padre Pio, a renowned 20th century mystic and stigmatist, offered profound insights into the battle between good and evil that takes place in the human soul. While not explicitly enumerating a list of signs of the devil's attack, Padre Pio's teachings and experiences can guide us in recognizing when our spiritual well-being is under threat. As we journey through life, we encounter moments of darkness, doubt, and temptation. In this exploration, we delve into 10 nuanced signs, deeply rooted in Padre Pio's wisdom, which may indicate a spiritual attack, calling us to remain vigilant and seek the light of faith and divine protection. 1. Unexplainable anxiety and fear. Unexplainable anxiety and fear can be considered spiritual attacks because they often transcend rational, situational concerns. In the spiritual realm, the devil may try to influence our emotional states by sowing fear and anxiety, making us doubt God's love and protection. These emotions can be overwhelming, making it challenging to focus on faith, prayer, and God's plan for us. St. Padre Pio encouraged believers to confront these emotions with trust in God and reliance on His strength. Recognizing unexplainable anxiety and fear as potential spiritual attacks is the first step in addressing and overcoming them. Overcoming such attacks involves prayer, meditation, and seeking spiritual counsel. By deepening one's connection to God, it is possible to find peace and strength in the face of these emotional challenges. The devil's goal is to create turmoil in our hearts and minds. But with faith and spiritual guidance, we can navigate through these turbulent waters and regain our inner calm. 2. Spiritual dryness. Spiritual dryness, a feeling of God's absence or distance, can be disheartening and spiritually unsettling. This is often considered a form of spiritual attack, as it can lead to a sense of isolation and disconnection from one's faith. St. Padre Pio himself experienced periods of spiritual dryness, which he viewed as trials to test and strengthen his faith. During these times, individuals may struggle to pray, feel God's presence, or find joy in their spiritual practices. To combat spiritual dryness, Padre Pio recommended perseverance in prayer and maintaining trust in God's plan, even when he seems distant. Seeking the support and guidance of a spiritual advisor or priest can be invaluable during such periods. These challenges can ultimately lead to spiritual growth, deepening one's faith and relationship with God. Recognizing spiritual dryness as a potential spiritual attack reminds us to persevere and remain faithful during these trying times. 3. Persistent negative thoughts. Persistent negative thoughts that lead to despair, self-doubt, and hopelessness can indicate a spiritual attack. These thoughts often focus on one's unworthiness, sins, or failures, and can be a tactic used by the devil to lead individuals away from a sense of hope and trust in God. St. Padre Pio understood the importance of recognizing and addressing these negative thoughts patterns. Such thoughts can hinder spiritual progress and erode one's sense of self-worth, making it challenging to embrace God's forgiveness and grace. To counteract these negative thoughts, St. Padre Pio advised turning to prayer and the sacraments, which can help individuals find solace and spiritual healing. By recognizing these thoughts as potentially diabolical influences, believers can take steps to replace them with positive, faith-affirming thoughts and thereby regain a sense of peace and trust in God's mercy. 4. Doubt in faith. Doubt in one's faith, religious beliefs, or the existence of God is a common sign of spiritual attack. St. Padre Pio acknowledged the devil's role in sowing doubt, and he emphasized the importance of addressing and overcoming these challenges. Doubt can be insidious, slowly eroding the foundations of faith and causing individuals to question their beliefs and the trust they place in God. To combat doubt, it is essential to engage in open and honest dialogue with knowledgeable spiritual advisors, study religious texts, and seek answers to questions and concerns. Strengthening one's faith through prayer, reflection, and engagement with a supportive faith community can help dispel doubt and reaffirm the believer's connection to God. Recognizing doubt as a potential spiritual attack encourages individuals to confront their uncertainties head-on and reaffirm their commitment to their faith. 5. Intense temptations. Intense and persistent temptations to commit sins that go against one's moral or religious principles are often viewed as a form of spiritual attack. St. Padre Pio emphasized the devil's role in tempting individuals away from righteousness. These temptations may take the form of desires to engage in behaviors that one knows are wrong, such as lying, cheating, or indulging in sinful pleasures. The devil seeks to exploit our weaknesses and lead us away from the path of virtue. Recognizing these intense temptations and understanding their source can empower individuals to resist and overcome them. Overcoming intense temptations involves prayer, self-discipline, and self-awareness. Seeking the guidance of a spiritual advisor or confessor can be particularly helpful when facing strong temptations. By acknowledging these temptations as potential spiritual attacks, believers can take steps to strengthen their resolve, make virtuous choices, and draw closer to God's grace. 6. Interference in prayer. Experiencing disruptions or disturbances during prayer or meditation is another possible sign of a spiritual attack. These disruptions might manifest as mental distractions, intrusive thoughts, or an inability to concentrate. St. Padre Pio understood that the devil could attempt to hinder our communication with God by disrupting our moments of spiritual connection. Such interference can lead to frustration and a sense of spiritual distance. To counteract these interferences in prayer, it's important to maintain a consistent prayer routine and develop techniques to refocus the mind. By seeking God's help in overcoming these obstacles, believers can restore the depth and quality of their prayer life. Recognizing interference in prayer as a potential spiritual attack reminds us to persevere in our communication with God and remain vigilant in our spiritual journey. 7. Conflict and strife in relationships. The devil often seeks to create discord, anger, and resentment in our relationships with others. A sudden increase in conflicts with loved ones, friends, or colleagues can be a sign of a spiritual attack. These conflicts may be characterized by hostility, misunderstandings, and an overall sense of strife. St. Padre Pio recognized the importance of harmony and love within relationships and the devil's efforts to disrupt them. Recognizing these conflicts as potentially diabolical influences can motivate individuals to work towards reconciliation, forgiveness, and peaceful coexistence. Overcoming conflicts and strife in relationships requires humility, empathy, and open communication. Seeking guidance from a trusted counselor or spiritual advisor can be beneficial in resolving these issues By acknowledging the potential spiritual attack on relationships, individuals can strive to maintain healthy, loving connections with others and resist the divisive tactics of the devil. 8. Physical and emotional exhaustion. Sudden and persistent physical or emotional exhaustion can be a sign of a spiritual attack. The devil may use such weariness to weaken one's resistance to negative spiritual influences. Exhaustion can make it difficult to engage in spiritual practices, attend religious gatherings, or maintain a strong connection to one's faith. St. Padre Pio recognized the importance of preserving one's physical and emotional well-being to stay spiritually vigilant. Recognizing exhaustion as a potential spiritual attack prompts individuals to prioritize self-care and find strength in their faith to overcome such challenges. Overcoming physical and emotional exhaustion involves setting boundaries, taking time for rest and recuperation, and seeking support from a faith community. Recognizing this fatigue, potentially diabolical influences, reminds individuals to balance their spiritual commitments with self-care to ensure a robust and unwavering connection with their faith. 9. Recurrent sickness or health issues. Persistent and unexplained health problems can be viewed as a sign of a spiritual attack. While not all illnesses are directly related to spiritual warfare, St. Padre Pio believed that spiritual challenges could have physical manifestations. In cases where individuals experience unrelenting health issues without a clear medical explanation, it's possible that the devil be attempting to weaken them physically. Recognizing this possibility can inspire individuals to seek both medical and spiritual guidance to address their health concerns. To overcome recurrent sickness or health issues potentially related to spiritual attacks, individuals should consult medical professionals for diagnosis and treatment. Simultaneously, seeking spiritual healing and prayer can provide comfort and strength. Acknowledging the potential connection between physical ailments and spiritual warfare encourages a holistic approach to well-being and emphasizes the need to maintain a strong, healthy body in the face of adversity. 10. Aversion to spiritual practices. Avoiding or neglecting religious duties and spiritual practices is another sign that the devil may be attacking an individual's faith. These practices, such as attending church, praying, or reading religious texts, are vital for nurturing one's connection to God. When someone experiences a strong aversion to these practices, it can indicate a spiritual attack that aims to distance them from their faith. St. Padre Pio emphasized the importance of persevering in spiritual practices, even when they become challenging. Recognizing an aversion to these practices as a potential spiritual attack reminds individuals to redouble their efforts in maintaining their spiritual routines. To overcome an aversion to spiritual practices, it's crucial to seek spiritual guidance and support from a faith community. This can help individuals regain their enthusiasm and find new meaning in their religious duties. By recognizing this aversion as potentially diabolical influences, individuals can take steps to restore their spiritual connection and remain steadfast in their faith, resisting the attempts to weaken their bond with God. As we conclude this exploration of spiritual discernment, inspired by St. Padre Pio's profound wisdom, we encourage you to stay connected with our channel, to continue discovering inspiring content and engaging in meaningful discussions. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. We'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. Share with us where you're joining us from, and what you find most captivating in the content we present. We emphasize the importance of maintaining a respectful and supportive environment here. We kindly request that you refrain from posting any form of hate or malicious comments. Remember, our community is built on positivity, understanding, and the pursuit of spiritual growth. Let's foster a place of learning and enlightenment together. Thank you for being a part of our journey, and we look forward to many more enriching discussions ahead.